So today is Thursday. Tuesday, I happen to be checking my email like everybody does. And I got my daily email from USPS and said there was no mail coming, but there was a package to be expected. And I hadn't ordered anything. Anything that I had ordered from Amazon had already come. I had no idea. So then yesterday, mail arrives, and lo and behold, there's a package in there. And it's got my name on it. I'm like, well, what can this be? I have no idea what's coming in the mail. Let me show you what I got. I'm pretty proud of this. Check this out. So for several years now, I've been touting the Recreator3D MK5. I've been playing with that, making my own filament for a while. And Josh and the great folks at Recreator3D have seen the work that I've done here on TikTok, over on YouTube, and they sent me this. How awesome is that? Now, I don't do the PET stuff for the reward of that part of it. I do it because I enjoy it. I make cool stuff out of it. It is work. I always say free filament. There's a lot of work that goes into it. It's definitely not something that's practical by any means. But I make a lot of cool stuff. Like I make a lot of smalls for folks. And I give them to my Amazon drivers. I have kind of a reputation with my Amazon drivers. And let me show you the Recreator3D MK5. And I'll show you this here in a minute. And you can find the plans for this over on printables.com. These here are my Recreator3D MK5 machines. The plans for this you can go over and get on printables.com. These are built from the components from a Creality Ender 3 machine. Lots of those available. You can pick one up used for about 50 bucks. It needs to be working because you're going to need a lot of the components. I have 3 of them here, and of course, like anything that I do, I've modified these quite a bit, added a few of my own touches. But I've taken a lot of plastic bottles, cut them into ribbons, and I've made a huge amount of filament on these machines. Let me just show you some of the stuff I made. I think you might be surprised at what these are capable of. Here are some of the small low poly critters and small flexi items that I've printed up with the PET filament. I give these items away to my Amazon drivers and other delivery drivers. I'm conditioning the Amazon drivers to use the lockbox on my patio. So when they use the lockbox, I give them one of these. I actually have sort of a reputation now with the Amazon drivers. Whenever I get a new one and they get to pick from the box, they're like, oh man, I've heard about you. Let me show you some of the other stuff I've made. I made this one several years ago. It's a marble machine from Out of Marbles, fully automated. It'll pick up the bearings and run them up to the top and back down again. Some of you may recall this video where I made a bottle out of a recycled bottle. Here's sort of an LED-inspired candle holder. This is an ESP32 Wi-Fi camera. Years ago, I made this large Galileo clock. Now, of course, it doesn't keep actual time, but it does work. That'll swing back and forth and the hands will move. That one was several weeks worth of work. Very cool design though. There's a bunch of stuff I've made out of plastic bottle filament in here. This trilobite, all these little bears, the cross back there, these various dragons, all made out of plastic bottles. There's another one, this little guy, even this vase, all made out of recycled plastic bottles using the Recreator3D MK5s. But wait, there's so much more. A bunch of the stuff in this cabinet was made with PET filament. Both of these vases. This little guy, Star Wars AT-AT. Boy, this big critter here. Check out some of these items down here. This big xenomorph skull was made with PET filament from plastic bottles. He's kind of an evil looking bloke, isn't he? And some of you may remember several years ago when I built this gigantic, magnificent marble machine. This thing took several months to complete. All sorts of different colors, a few redesigns, but it does fully work. Haven't had it on in a while, but man, look at the colors on this. And this is my most recent creation and probably my most favorite at this point. This was all made out of PET filament from recycled bottles, some addressable LEDs, and the WLED software. I love this thing. It's like a gigantic disco ball. All practical uses for this PET filament. And boy, this stuff will last forever. Here's a couple more items I found that I've made out of PET plastic bottle filament. This TIE Fighter, this little guy here. Another one of my favorites. This happens to be a lightsaber, again with WLED. Made out of nothing but PET filament and a few electronic components. In any case, just a big shout out to the folks over at Recreator3D. Thank you very much for this. I will continue touting your projects, your products. And by the way, you guys, if you're looking to get into a pultrusion and get a pultruder, they're actually selling a mini version of a pultruder on their website, one that's ready made, and I think you can buy right from them. In any case, thanks again, you guys. Thank you much, Josh.